Right, we're back with part 3. So, Jerry, where were we? We were in space and a teen kid was about
you guys
to tell
are
us
moving to the Pantalass of the cosmic all-sea, Slipspace. I'm assuming you guys gave this this boy some type of succor or comfort on your ship.
He can have some wine, yes.
Food
Yeah.
and water.
Awesome.
Food and wine, yes. Food and wine.
More of Iolus's wine to go around.
He'll take it. He just devours it. Like this kid has not eaten in a few days.
Okay. And I will give him a speech about how, he was brave and he is a true warrior in the making and such like that.
Okay. Trying to build him back up. He appreciates that. You find out that this boy's name is Calamosis. And he was, in fact, a cabin boy on this ship that was headed toward the Lion system to bring wedding gifts to both the bride and the groom. And he tells you guys that they were attacked. We were attacked by, the ship came out of nowhere, and then they boarded our ship, and the captain, he pushed me in this room and told me to bar the door. And I could hear the screaming, and I could hear the slaughter going on outside and inside the ship. And then I could hear the banging on the door of the captain, and he was telling me, he was begging me to let him in, but I didn't. And I regret it. And he starts to cry and loses himself for a little bit because of his cowardice. That, he could hear the dying screams of his captain on the other side of the door. But he basically tells you guys that his ship was just was delivering special cargo to one of the outlying systems in the Cyclades autonomous region, which you guys are flying through right now. It's this huge system of autonomous colonies that are primarily mining colonies that live out here with their own government, which means most of the time they have no government. But, they make do. But there was a big deal wedding, and they were bringing gifts to it. And that's what he tells you guys.
Calamasis, you should not feel such shame, for there is a path for glory for anyone, no matter what happened. You are but a child. And we have need of crew on our ship. You could serve us as our cabin boy instead. That will certainly offer you a chance for glory.
I could. I absolutely could, Baruch. And he grabs your arm. He's like, I can make my way. And he looks back at Aura, Captain. I would absolutely, I could. And he looks around you. How do you guys keep your ship? Are you guys, is the ship kept tip top? Is it?
Yeah, I definitely would keep the ship tip top shape.
Okay.
And,
are there any dishes? Do you guys wash your dishes after you're done? Or do you guys have a rotating schedule?
I don't think we do anymore. We've got a cabin boy to do that, haven't we? So it's even if we did, yeah.
Seems like we have a couple of robots on the ship, so the robots have probably been doing some of the dishes and some of the chores and such.
All the mopping your machina used to do, he can take over now, can't he?
You had robots on the ship.
Yeah, but I'm more interested in the fact that, I'm going to tell the boy that I see great potential in you. I think that perhaps you were once a cabin boy, but that is only the beginning of your story. I think that perhaps you should train with us and stand by our side. Your story will be far greater in the long run.
Can I potentially become a cabin man?
And far more. Perhaps someday you will even become a hero.
He drops to your feet and starts to cry. Says, "Oh, thank you all for this kindness. Thank you all."
From now
Niobe
on,
to his shoulder, patting. There.
Right.
There.
so this is gonna be really bad.
Rubs himself on your leg. Oh, thank you.
I'm gonna be like, from now on though, you will be known as Roger.
Whatever you say, Master Iolaus.
No. The name would be Malachor. If we don't like his name, we always change it to Malachor.
This guy's got way more names.
Yeah. Whatever your name, you should. Now's not the time for tears. There's all these wine pots need washing up. And now that we've drunk our fill, so get to it. Your chance at glory begins now.
Let us toast his lost crew.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yes, and he does.
And then let us give him our cups.
Just to wash.
Yes.
And after the toast, here's the cup.
Also, once you're done with the cups, make sure you sweep the deck of all the debris that hit it earlier. Thank you.
Absolutely.
So
You'll
be
not
a hero
regret
in
this.
no time.
So, what are you guys gonna do now? He'll start calling himself Smendrick, magician.
I'll
Clean
look
up
to
a bit.
Aura. Maybe
I
look to
imagine we're
Aura
all a
first.
little worse for the wear from running on that terrible ship.
I'm all right.
True.
I'm pretty all right, actually.
If you've taken any damage, the damage is gone. You guys managed to mend yourselves and get back on track. So yeah, the ship is racing. Where are you guys racing to?
We have a funeral still to go to. Perhaps we can find out more about this
When
strange
he relayed-
encounter we've had on the way.
When he relayed his story, how long ago was he headed towards that?
Toward the wedding?
Yeah.
2 days ago is when the ship was attacked, and they would hope to, by now, they would have gotten to the ceremony and to deliver their cargo. They had precious cargo aboard the ship. Among other things, they had, a few dogs that they were going to give to the bride and groom, these 2 hunting dogs. They also had a very important artifact that he had never himself personally seen. He had never seen the artifact, but he had, heard them talking about it. And this artifact was supposed to be some type of great artifact between the 2 noble houses that were being married. But he had never seen it. Probably the remains of someone's grandfather is what they were transporting.
Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you guys.
No, sorry, I was just.
Yes.
So we got how long till the funeral?
Oh, the funeral happens when you guys get there. You guys, by the time you guys have gotten the message, the funeral, basically you guys would get the message. You guys would go there and pay your respects. But they, they're not holding off for like weeks or months for you guys to get there for the funeral. So the funeral happens when you guys get there.
So if we're passing, if we're roughly passing through where this gift was supposed to be brought, maybe we should do a detour and go to this find out about this artifact that has gone missing. Yes?
I mean, it's something Staris would do.
I'd like to meet the Staros, says Roger / Callum. What was his other Calimosis?
Malachor, Roger, Callum. Yeah.
Yeah, Malachor - Roger.
Sadly, that will not be possible. Storis is not on our agenda to meet. But I don't want to upset him anymore with more tales of death. So,
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say to Aura, maybe we could leave the void and head to change course and head to this system.
So I'm sorry. I think I missed something Jerry said. What system are we? What does Iron Arms wants us to go to?
Go to the system where the wedding is happening.
Okay, yeah. So I didn't miss anything. So why would we want to go to this wedding when we have nothing to bring to the wedding?
Because we can find out information about what this artifact that was being brought to the wedding, and maybe find out who could have taken it to get it back for them.
But Roger spoke of no artifact, only priceless heirlooms and items and wedding gifts. Things that may have, perhaps some of us inferred artifact, but I heard no such thing. I heard gifts of great value and valuable, in precious heirlooms and such like that.
Well,
What made you think there's an artifact amongst those items?
Because precious heirlooms, to someone that will be an artifact from that family.
Staros, there are people waiting for us with Staros, but if you all think that this is worthwhile, I will redirect our ship, and at least if there is no artifact to deliver, we could at least deliver word of the fate of those that they await. So it would not be a wasted trip.
We should deliver the good wishes of we have a ship whose crew have been killed. We should deliver their wishes at least and tell their story, should we not?
Yes. The word of the ship at the very least. I do not hear the potential for an artifact, but perhaps I am wrong. I do think that at least it would not be a wasted trip, though, to deliver this word. So yeah,
How far off course is this place?
What's that?
How far off course is this place?
It'll probably take you like a few days off course. It's a remote system, so it'd be like, if you guys were heading this way, you just kind of turn off and go this way for like a day or two, and then you would be there. Or you guys can continue on to Staros, or at least, to go view his remains and poke at him with the stick. He's a dead body down by the river.
Stand by me.
That's right. You guys want to see a dead body? But yeah, he's so are you guys moving on, or you guys continue on towards Staros?
Well, I'm going to let everyone else decide. I've said, I just think it might be worth us finding out some information, like find out if these heirlooms are particularly important, then the family might like us to go retrieve it. I don't know.
I think is what we saw on that ship common, like just a random Lamia harpy attack? Is that just the kind of thing that happens sometimes, or
it's been known to happen, but usually they don't destroy it. Like, for instance, you've never seen harpies in a ship with weapons. Like a group of them. Like there might be let's say if there were a pirate group, there might be, harpies among them or lamia among them. But the way these ships were destroyed, that is usually beyond the scope of what, a harpy raid or, lamias. Lamias definitely can't. Lamias roll with the harpies just to get at, the free food. But, they're definitely not controlling like ships and blowing ships out of the aether or anything like that.
So was it, sorry, just so I so I clarify in my head, was it attacked by harpies or was it attacked by like pirates or something?
You guys don't know. He tells you that the ship was just attacked and that there was laser fire, and he was hidden away in the room, and he could hear a boarding action, obviously, because people got on the ship and there was an attack, but he couldn't tell you. He knows that the ship was attacked by weapons fire, which could only come from another ship, because there were two ships in his convoy, and that was the one ship you guys saw at the beginning, fly past your ship, blown up. And then there was your guys' ship, or his ship, the Hippopotamus, which had onboarded all the gifts and artifacts that they were giving to the wedding couple of the two major houses.
And was there any artifacts on this ship, or had it all been taken?
You guys don't know? There was a goat. You know that for a fact.
There was a goat.
Did we save the goat?
Yeah, and Malachor / Rogers / Kalimosis, he misses that goat.
We all missed the goat, I think.
That's right. Yeah. The goat's like, what about me? As it fell into Slipspace and died. But no, there was nothing. But then again, you guys weren't looking. It wasn't like, hey, there's some priceless heirlooms over here. You were looking for.
I cared about the survivors and people.
Right. Yep. And you found one.
Well, it seems to me that we can either go and pay tribute to Staros and then go and inform these folks of the fate of their gifts, or go the other way. I guess it's a matter of what seems more respectful or heroic.
That's right.
I would not be surprised if our paths are intertwined and both things are in some way linked. That is the way of the threads of fate, is it not? Why would
Agreed.
we discover such a ship in such a circumstance so suddenly at that time? The ways the gods are playing with us.
Agreed.
True.
And
So,
and as was said, even if there are no artifacts, and there is and we arrive empty-handed of sorts, we at least can bring word of the fate of their people and bring bring them Roger.
that's right. Roger Melicor, Calamosis.
Calamosis, so that at least this detour, would not be wasted. So let us go.
Okay,
Take a
so
couple
you
days.
guys are going to the wedding.
Yes, going to the
Okay,
wedding.
cool. You guys head on to the Lion system, which you guys can pull up and figure out about. It's basically a mining colony. Had 2 great houses in it. It's got its major star and a gas giant, which has 3 planets around it, and the rest of the system is nothing but one blasted asteroid field. From from the orbit, basically all the orbits around it are incredibly hazardous because of this huge asteroid field that covers, AUs of distance. But you guys know this, you've seen systems like this before. But what you guys do find out is that these 2 houses have been at war for quite some time. They're the House Medes and the House Pyron have been at war for like the last 50 years. And after that, they had a 20-year ceasefire, which was essentially their Cold War. But one of the biggest sticking points in their ceasefire is the body of the warlord Critus, which the people of Pyron had but didn't deliver back to the people of Medes. So they've been in possession of his body so that the family could not bury their beloved dead for the last 30 years. And they say they did that because Critus was this scourge of the system, was in charge of this super weapon that could destroy everything in the system. But things happen. So you guys basically get to the system. You rise up out of Slipspace, bring in your Slipspace sails, and bubble up out of Slipspace into real space. And when you guys come up, you guys are heading toward the planet Merope, which is where both parties decided to have this wedding at, which is a neutral party inside the system. And as you guys head toward Merope Station, which
So with that information that we have, delivering this news, I worry that if we deliver this news, that both sides will accuse the other side of sabotaging the wedding, and we will start a new war.
Well, do you voice this to your crew?
I'm voicing this to the crew. Yeah, I'm voicing this to everyone in the crew.
What says the crew?
This coming from the tactician in me, knowing that this kind of stuff happens. And
there's glory in war, though. It's fated they should know of the fate of their fellows. Should they? If they decide to take it out on each other, that's in the hands of the gods.
Yeah, says Roger / Melicor. I'm with Rook.
I'm not sure if we've explained where the cabin boy fits in our decision-making hierarchy to him well, have we? He seems to
because he's taking your plate from you. I don't know if you're finished with whatever you're eating, but he's plate.
Yeah, certainly. You go wash these up while the grown-ups talk. Yeah.
Where should I put this laundry? Should I just put it on your bed where I normally put it?
Just wherever. Yeah. Just yeah.
I'm so hungry. When can I have my food, please?
Help yourself to food. It's fine.
No, I would make sure that he is fed well. And like I said, I'm not really wanting him to be so much a cabin boy, but start training with us in actual weaponry and such. See where try and learn where his actual talents lie, because that's
Well,
I feel he would otherwise be underutilized.
I refuse to train him because he's not a Spartan.
Okay, so yeah, I don't know if you guys trained.
Iolaus, perhaps then I should say I refuse you passage on my ship since you are not of Poseidon.
Oh, shots fired.
I'll
Says
be like,
Roger.
I'll be
We
like,
are a team. We took this boy into our charge, so he is Spartan by adoption. You brought him onto my ship
What
in
she
your
said
very arms.
as he hides behind her.
I'm going to be like, well, then that's fine. Then I will leave the ship once we arrive at the planet.
Can I have your room? Says Roger /
I think you are giving the boy delusions of grandeur.
I wish to find out what he is best at. Perhaps he is not best in battle, but perhaps there are things that he is skilled in that we have yet to see without taking him to training, without training him and learning of his talents. We are underutilizing his skills, and we are doing an injustice for our group as well as for him. Perhaps he may not be best with the sword or the shield. Perhaps he might have a talent with the glaive. Perhaps he may have talent with our computers.
We should return.
I simply wish to investigate and learn of his skills.
We should return him to his family when we can.
He's a fine launderer at the moment. His training will commence after. I think Barok's been training him in a sort of Karate Kid, like paint the fence kind of thing, where it's like, yeah, the first part of your training is to wash up all these dishes and mop the deck, and then tomorrow we'll start with the sword. Are we starting with the sword yet? No, tomorrow we'll start with the sword. You need to do the deck again first, and then
Wars are lost because that lead do not know the talents of those that serve them. I simply wish to ensure that if anything else were to happen, how many cabin boys do you know would survive 3 days on their own the way this boy did? Most would not.
One who locks the door and don't let anyone else in.
Oh, he starts to cry. And you know what? And basically the puddings he was putting down in front of you, he does not put yours down.
Iolaus, I never thought you to be a coward, but there is more than one way to show cowardice. And to me, you have shown that today.
I will go. I'll be like, how is this?
Perhaps you fear this child rising above your mastery. Perhaps that is your real fear.
There is no fear. There is an order to things, and you are filling the boy with dreams that may not be of truth.
I am not filling the boy with any dreams. I am simply saying that
May I interject to simply say that I don't know how your lives have run, but mine seems to run with fate putting things in my path for some very purpose. Fate brought us together. Perhaps fate brought us him. Maybe there is more to be warranted in knowing more about him.
You get an extra helping of pudding, Niobe.
And
extra helping of pudding. You see, like, the pudding is split towards you.
And to lead the armies that I must amass, I must find as many that are fated to come to me as possible. The gods have deemed me to lead a great army, a great navy through the space. And perhaps Roger is to lead a unit someday. Or perhaps he is to support the unit someday, as I do not fight, but I support and I lead.
If you think an army of boys would be a great army, then we
were all once children. You, Iolaus, were once a child.
I have always been a Spartan.
And in mind, you still are.
I have always been a Spartan, and I will die as a Spartan.
Let's see what clues towards this boy's life await on this mining colony. I do not wish him to be a wedge that drives between our crew as well, for that would not be right. Let's see what the people that we see here will make of him. Maybe he's fated to stay there now, or maybe his fate is to stay with us. We cannot know the whims of the gods.
And with that, you guys come up out of like Slipspace, all comforted by Calamosis, who's basically is an incredible hustler on the ship. You know, anytime Baruch goes into his room, there are scented candles that are lit. Bed's always made.
Yeah, he should definitely stay. I think it's not.
Your guys' your laundries are all done. He even like I don't know if you guys have a goat on your ship, but he makes you guys cheese. You guys have like fresh cheese that he's just been sitting down there like shaking in like this this leather bag for you guys.
Well, it appears his calling is of a chef.
He could be.
Have you ever waged war on an empty stomach? It's not a good war.
It's not. It's not. And yeah, he just basically, you know, kind of takes care of the ship. He even knows the basics of actually piloting a ship from his previous employer, and also because, you know, in his free time, when he does have free time, when he's not doing, you know, your guys' taxes or, you know, putting creases in you know, your chitons or cloaks or whatever, he's you know, trying to amass or absorb as much as he can.
And I want to pay attention to what he seems most engaged and most talented in, if possible. Figure out, you know, what he's most where he has the most potential.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. What does Calamosis do? He is very helpful, and Calamosis seems very bright. In fact, he actually probably has a really good singing voice. And maybe he entertains you guys at night in, like, you know, the quiet hours with, like, you know, a song or something that he has learned. He's never been trained to, like, you know, fight, but he says, you know, he wouldn't mind learning after, like, his last encounter. But, you know, most of his skills lie in support and in the service of others right now. He is, you know, he's probably, gosh, how old is Calamosis is probably like 16, we'll say. You know, he's a young boy.
So
you know,
training him in combat. Okay, training him in combat a little bit. Does he seem like he has the physicality for it? And would he be basically better in melee or ranged? You know, which of the two?
Well, who has the fighter profession? Who has their warrior profession? I think Baruch and
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Iolaus. Both of you guys give me roles.
Tactician.
Yes, but
you
if
know
he
what?
shows any propensity towards range and sneakiness, bring him my way.
Right. Well, you know what? All of you guys, roll your profession skill.
Okay.
And whoever rolls the highest, that will be, well, Baruch's got a 21. Oh, got a 20 there.
Let me double check my bonus here. Yep. Plus 10.
Hang on.
Ooh,
I have to say that as a character, I think Baruch really trusts him and thinks he's amazing. As a player, I'm getting a bit suspicious of him, actually. He seems a bit too good to be true. I don't like...
Okay. This is what you find out, Baruch, evidently, since you rolled the highest, that this nice kid, he's got a mean streak that he tries to, like, contain, but, you know, like, maybe you guys talk, and he always wants to get into the nitty-gritty details of, like, whatever battle you've been in, whatever visceral descriptions you have about a battle, he eats up, you know, like, you know, and then I disemboweled him and chopped off his head, and, you know.
Yeah, he's like, where did you reach in to grab the heart and pull it out? I'm like, oh, it was just that. Wait. That's enough stories. Stories,
exactly.
boy. Yeah.
So yes, maybe being some type of frontline, you know, maybe now after his encounter, he doesn't want to be ever in that situation again. Therefore, he wants to learn how to, you know, take care of himself and to protect others. If he could have, he could have protected his captain and kept him alive.
I'll teach him. I'd happily teach him self-defense to defend himself. It's just I'm not sure that I want him to, like, throw himself in front of a sword and his blood be on our hands.
Oh, no, okay, so then you misunderstood. I wasn't trying to get him to throw himself in front of a sword. I wanted him to basically, like I said, figure out what he is good at, and having self-defense is all I care about. I'm not trying to make him into a shock.
Oh, okay, well, I'm
not trying to tell you to turn him into a Spartan warrior, but training him to know how to the basics of fighting. So apparently we don't have an argument. We are not in an impasse of any sort.
Oh no, we do have an argument. We just have an argument over nothing.
Yeah, an argument over nothing. Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
when I see you start training him, I'm like, why was he arguing with me? Cool, we're good.
Yeah. Well, then you see me. Well, my profession is in fact shock trooper. So we're still at the early days of training, but yeah, there's a lot of like, no, you need to shout at them when you charge in and chop their heads off.
So so it would start with. So yeah, again, it would start with right. You've now mopped the deck. Now you need to apply the wax and take the wax off.
He's waxing on. Okay.
Well, without saying it, Niobe has decided that perhaps his fate is to be a bard and to sing the glory of our adventures. And that's what he's really here to do. Because he sings really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys all nurture him in different ways. On the few days that, before you guys get to this system, you guys all basically impart a little bit. And this kid is easily molded. He is at that age and at that period where any type of like positive influence would probably help this kid.
Essentially, I don't want him just to be a cabin boy slave for the rest of his life. That's my whole point and desire. I want him to rise above being an indentured servant.
So should he stop painting? Should he stop with the mural in Niobe's room? He's painting her wall.
Could you just let him finish? It's really lovely, and he's got my hair right.
He can finish.
That's hard to do.
He's got your Beyonce hair right.
Cabin boys are there to learn the trade of like being sailors, aren't they? Usually, that's what, and they
usually become a sailor. Yes, absolutely.
Usually, but not in all cases.
That's right.
Especially in the culture that we're inspired by here, not always.
I'm going to stop calling him Roger because it's a really bad joke.
Okay, he'll go back to Moses, his true name. But anyway, you guys managed to come out of Slipspace into this asteroid field. Yes. In the distance, you guys see the super giant, not the super giant, but the gas giant that is Liam's like essentially only planet. Well, besides the moons that rotate around it, which are the three colonies there, the Merope, the Mendes, and the Pyron. But as you guys are heading toward Merope Station, where the wedding was supposed to take place, you guys see the station is on fire. You see that there is a battleship shooting at it, and you guys see all sorts of conflict going on around this battle. The space station.
He looks at Harak and says, "Fate."
We knew it. We called it, didn't we? Yeah.
What are you guys going to do?
I'm going to be like, Bragg, I wager you a flask of wine that these are the same people that attacked the ship.
I fear this is a wager I will lose, but I will bet anyway for such less glory.
That's right. He just likes to bet. He likes the action.
And Iolaus just likes to argue. It doesn't matter what he's arguing about. Iolaus just likes to argue.
Right. Well, he is
combative. Stay in combat while he's out of combat.
That's right. So, what are you guys going to do?
We're going to approach cautiously. And does the boy know? So, can you spell his name out? Write it out, because I'm afraid of butchering it.
Oh, I butcher names anyway, even if it's spelled out in front of me. It needs to be phoneticized.
Well, you got Renee. Okay, Calamosis. Cool. Thank you. So, does Calamosis know where on this mining colony the wedding reception and such like that, all the events were supposed to take place? Does he know where to find it?
Well, he knows the station. Like, they've traveled here before, and there's a huge like atrium at the top of the station that looks down on the planet Merope. So basically, you would be looking at the planet above you if you were on the station.
Okay. So I guess we would go up and seek docking at the station, call in, send in our signals, and say that we're there for a pit stop to resupply, to take a few days off our ship. And
not necessarily. Well, you can say that, but realize there's a battleship shooting the station. There's a battle around the station.
Oh, I'm sorry. I totally missed that. Because the arguing between people. I'm so sorry.
So there's a battle around the station. So if you want to get on the station.
Get on the ship. let's get
a piloting roll. Give me a piloting roll.
No, let's start fighting this battleship then.
You're gonna fight the battleship?
Are we a battleship?
What's that?
What's the scale of this? How big is it compared to our ship? Let's just see before we.
Gosh. You know what? I wish I would have given you guys a picture of that. Just imagine your guys' ship, like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah.
Now imagine a Star Destroyer.
Okay.
That is like a battleship.
Okay.
Or even like a Nebulon B-class frigate. I don't know how.
Okay, so it's significantly bigger than us.
Or
Yes.
perhaps we should sneak past it.
Do we recognize this battleship as being representative of any particular group?
By its coloring and about its banners and stuff. Like, there's a generic class of battleship, like, but, a lot of houses will paint their ships different colors. So your guys' ships aren't just these gray ships. Your guys' ships are incredibly colorful and artistically decorated.
Mm-hmm.
So, they'll be brightly colored with friezes on the side of them sometimes, or just have like an icon or a sigil on it. This one it looks old. It looks antiquated, but this is just a space station. In fact, it looks like when you guys see it, it's like if you guys saw like a World War II battleship fighting someplace now, you'd be like, wow, that is a very old ship. It might be an old, American destroyer or a German destroyer, but you can tell it's old. It's not, a new, sleeker model of ship.
Okay.
It looks old. It looks worn, but it's definitely capable of fighting off like whatever defenses that the space station might have. But yes, it's definitely bigger than your guys' ship.
So,
okay.
So my question will be to Aura, if you can, because you're a tactician, would it be best for us to sneak aboard the battleship and take that out, like, on the battleship, or what? I mean, what is the best way?
I actually once I figured out what was going. I'm sorry, I got distracted. I would like to actually use my tactician to try and discern any weaknesses on this ship visibly, and see about where basically they have their weaponry and where they have their men positioned and such. So if there are noticeable breaches and holes that we could utilize before we actually think about sneaking onto the ship. Yes,
Actually,
Naomi?
Aura, I can help you. One of my abilities is Trailblazer. So you have the natural affinity for finding the easiest path to follow, and you increase your speed +2 for you and your entire party when traveling through unfamiliar territory. If we work together, maybe we can find the path for what we want to do.
Ooh.
Okay. So yeah, let's do that. And I want to start with a tactician role to see about trying to basically find this information that I'm asking for. So one, where they've got their stuff set up, how they have the people and their weaponry set up. Also, since you said it is an old ship, basically there, if there are weaknesses in the hull or breach possibilities.
Okay, so that's what you two are doing. What is Baruch doing, and what is Iolaus doing?
Iolaus is prepared. Iolaus, I don't know. I think because we're both like warriors, aren't we? So I think we're just helping each other into our armors, making sure we're all locked and not locked, but
right.
all battle ready, basically.
Yeah, I think we generally follow instruction when we're pointed at something. Yeah, we'll be doing each other's.
You up in the back and then just push you guys into a room and then start murdering as you guys go. Okay, so you guys are getting ready. Calimosis, he comes in. He's got like the pot that he cooked the stew in on his head. He's probably got like an old shield out of your guys' hull. Back in your guys' storage, you might have like some old weapons. He's getting ready.
I'm gonna be like, your job will be to defend the ship.
Well, yeah, of course, Iolaus. But I need to have a weapon as well. Should I use a spear, a sword, a pulse rifle?
I think I might have.
I feel like
take
there's
the
a
pot off his
montage
head.
with each weapon he says. There's like a flash to him fumbling with it during training.
Dropping it. Yeah, it goes off.
It goes through everyone's mind.
Yeah.
I take the
Exactly.
pan off his head, put it in his hand, and say, strike them with this if they get on the ship. You're going to be
Absolutely.
here.
Okay. So you two are getting ready. Iolaus and Baruch are getting ready to go over the side. So this is what I need. Take your tactician roll, and we'll take the +2 from her trailblazing, and then we'll add that to your roll. And you'll have a -8 to your roll. So whatever your
Okay.
modifier is, -8.
Okay, sure. So that's going to be
As you guys are both hovering over these like displays and stuff.
13.
What'd you roll?
13.
Oh, look at that. So you're climbing back up. It's not a
Don't
one.
jinx me, Jerry.
Okay, so this is what you find out. The ship is old and it looks like it's been in Slipspace for quite some time. You can tell by like the comm chatter that there is a boarding action on the station, and that the station is calling for like a mayday, basically send some help. We're being murdered over here, type thing. So there are actual like soldiers or raiders or whatever on their ship, and occasionally the battleship, it's not just like assaulting the space station, but occasionally it will shoot a spot, and you see that it's basically taking systems offline. Like it's taking basically its engines offline. It's taking, this offline. It's life support.
Okay.
It's like shooting at spots to cut off access to different parts of the ship, so that they are basically supporting
For the
people
station, you
inside
mean?
the ship. Yes.
Divide and conquer.
So I will relay over comms. Poseidon has spoken to me. This ship shall join my fleet. And I will start pulling up to where there is a good spot behind where, as they're shooting and all, where they've got their focus, I'm going to try and sneak our ship onto the opposite side so we can board it. And I'm
Okay.
going,
Are you boarding the space station or the battleship?
battleship.
Okay, you're boarding the battleship. Okay.
Like I said, Poseidon has spoken to me. This ship shall join my fleet. We're going to go and disable it and deal with the attackers.
Give me a piloting roll, -12. As you guys
Minus 12. Okay. so
Can we?
that's gonna be
Is there any way we can assist her in this piloting check?
Absolutely. What would you like to do? Give me a way in which your character will help.
Spot. Lead the way.
I believe
What's that?
Lead the way. Spot. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way I can assist because I don't have any.
No, there's absolute. There's
Oh, I've got
all you guys can
navigate.
do is tell me how you're mixing yourself into the action, and we will make it work. We'll absolutely
Well,
make it.
I guess I go to the navigation device or whatever, the navigation computer, and I will be watching. I will be watching its sensor sweeping from the battleship to see where to find its blind spot.
Okay.
well, maybe I've got a suggestion for you, but I think Niobe is able to keep helping me with her ability. But you can probably use your warrior profession to help me, because you can say basically you're seeing, you're spotting out and you're seeing they're moving this way. You can, direct me using that. That seems like it's a possibility.
I think, if we can all chip in, maybe like James, you're doing the navigation community. I've like my profession of shock trooper. I've probably seen a fair few boarding actions in my time. So look for the best place for the grapples to hit.
Okay. You guys all give me your rolls, and then we will basically.
Okay, so I roll after they do, I take it?
Yes, you'll roll last.
Okay.
You guys all roll.
And does my trailblazer just automatically give her 2?
You can do that, or you can make a roll with like maybe your profession of a scout. So I'll give you the choice. You can give her that, since that's a special ability of yours, and that will give her a +2. Or you can roll, which means you could still give her the +2, or if you get a crit, you potentially could give her more.
Nice.
So you can take the safe way, I'll give you.
Can
Or
I?
you can,
Could
Or
I?
do you want the shore bet, or do you want me to roll for the money?
I think that I trust in the gods. Roll.
Ooh.
Got it.
Okay, everyone give me a roll. And Baruch is that a 17, Baruch?
17, yeah, 17.
Okay.
I'm thinking about calling the Owl of Athenia, and I don't know if this would work.
Yeah, well, let's see.
Could it hang on, sorry, allergies. So it says here, the constant companion of Athena helps in the search or illumination of things lost or hidden. The hero knows the direction of an item or being she's looking for. The hero must first meditate for at least a minute afterwards. Oh,
Yeah, basically, this owl will help you find what you're looking for.
Would it help me? Would it guide the ship towards the safest way through the sensors without being detected?
It will help you if you wanted to use it for that.
Yes, please.
Okay, so that's what you're doing. So you get someplace quiet, and you start to meditate on this.
I'll probably go to the front of the ship. I'll go to the front, and I'll kneel down or something and start meditating, and
okay, and get your mind right and trying to figure this out. Okay, so that's what you're doing. So you two, Niobe and Baruch, you guys made your rolls. So that'll be an additional +2 for Aura. So total of +4. And hold on a second. And you are looking for the best way to bypass to not be seen by their sensors.
that is correct.
Where to
yes.
go not to be seen by their sensors.
Yeah,
okay.
and the reason why I've gone to the front of the ship is so that I can over the comms say left, right, up, down.
Right. Okay. So yeah, you've gotten into some type of position where you can just. That's, by the way, I just gave you guys a picture of your ship.
Ooh. Where did you drop that? Because I'm not seeing
just in that Facebook, just because that's the only
Facebook
place.
chat. Oh.
You could potentially drop it in Roll20.
the Facebook chat. I'm not seeing it come up. You have nothing that you've dropped has come up in the Facebook chat today.
That is correct.
Impossible. Are you guys saying I'm incompetent?
No, not saying you're competent.
I'm not saying that I'm competent.
You can
No,
drag
I'm not saying
images
you're
onto
incompetent.
the table and roll 20. They'll live there.
No, that just grabbed it right into. Yeah, I think I'd actually have to be the GM for that one because I know that as a GM,
I did promote you to the GM, so if you just quickly leave the game and rejoin.
There
yeah, just see this all goes.
Actually, I am in control now. I feel sorry for you guys. It's getting ready to, you guys are getting ready to get it. You're getting ready to get the business stuff. Hold on, let's see. But anyway, so we're gonna give you a +6 to your roll, Aura.
Okay, +6 after the make 12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So you got a -12, but you also get a +6, so it's a -6, I guess, to your roll.
Does my owl give her any benefit?
That gives that's where some of the +6 comes from.
Okay.
Plus, it's going to
15.
mitigate some of the. What'd you get?
15.
15. Hold on. Where am I at? Oh, I'm trying to do 15 different things. Kool-Aid. So 15. So you do manage to do it because basically, as you guys are moving toward this ship, it starts shooting at you. But you guys managed to move out of the way of it. And you guys find an unused airlock on the side of the ship that you guys can actually access with the owl. And you see an owl there. There's an owl where where you're telling them to go. So out in space, there is an owl that is telling you guys where you guys can go.
Great. I wish to. Is there anything on that I can target on the oppositional ship with our laser guns to disable any particular systems. For example, I would be interested in disabling their targeting sensors or their radars or their, basically I have a few different things I'd be interested in targeting on their ship with our lasers and popping them.
You can, but doing so means that you're actually fighting the ship, which is a completely different thing, which, you can do. It just means that it becomes a thing that you're doing.
Well, my intention is basically to use that as a distraction while my people board. So I'm going to be doing that after my people start the boarding process.
I'm very good with ranged weaponry. I have things like trick shot. So again, I might be able to help you with what you want to accomplish.
Awesome. That would be great. I can also add twice my perception to damage twice per game. So that's going to be plus 10 damage twice. So I can theoretically shoot it pretty well. So if the two shock trooper warriors want to start boarding, we are going to engage at that point, and hopefully I can make them less seen on the ship itself.
Okay. All right. So this is what we'll do. You guys get up to the ship, and who's going into the ship?
I don't know who's leading the way. I think we're side by side, aren't we? Both searching for glory.
You guys, shoulder to shoulder. You guys, the airlock is right in front of you. It's starting to cycle, and the door opens, and you guys are all going in, eh?
Yeah. Quick, like fist bump, and then we're on it.
Yep.
So yeah, as it's starting to cycle, you guys look at one another, you throw each other a look, little fist bump, and then the door opens and mayhem starts. So for that mayhem to start, I would like you guys to give me an initiative roll.
Sure. Remember, guys, everyone gets a +2 to their initiative because I'm in the group.
Oh, bollocks. I just pressed the wrong thing.
Commanding people.
It's okay. We can call that a 9. Now, remember, if you've got instincts, add that as well. Did you add your instincts or anything like that?
No, I just accidentally...
I remember this time.
I accidentally just hit to roll a d20 by mistake rather than, like, opening up the basic dice roller. But if you want to use that roll of a 7, my instinct is +2.
Yeah, use that and then...
And then +2 again, so that's 7, 9, 11.
You've got 11, a 17, a 6, and
15.
15. There we go.
Yep.
Thank you. And then I roll, incredibly well. And mine will be super awesome because that's what I do.
Okay.
Boom! Look at that. That's a solid 7. It's a strong 7.
So how do team actions work in your game?
What do you mean?
Well, if I basically say I want Niobe to be manning our guns, our lasers, because she is our shooter, and then can I use my add twice my perception to damage because I am assisting her, and I am at that point, able to utilize my tactician and just sit back and do my tactician stuff.
Well, you would be so what you're trying to do is complement her roles with your role, kind of the way in reverse of what they just did for you.
Well, but I'm trying to add an ability onto it, so I'm just curious. Because my talent and ability is that I may add twice my perception to damage against a target twice per game.
Right. Yeah, that's just your special ability. That's gravy. I mean,
Okay.
I'm shooting my gun, but I have a special ability that allows me to do this. Just like, let's say with Niobe, her special ability of, scouting or whatever, she's looking for a way. Everyone who follows her gets a +2 to,
So
to their
I can
move.
so I can basically, when she's shooting, I can pop it on that shot. Awesome. Good to know.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Okay.
Fantastic.
So all of you guys are going to go on Aura's 15. So Baruch, you are cheated of your additional damage, but that's okay because you're going to get a benefit of it back in a second. So let's go with the two guys going onto the ship. You guys are going in. Once that door opens, what are you guys doing?
Well, what do we see?
Straight in. Yeah.
Basically, it's just an old hallway. There's musty air that comes into, you guys are breathing in. you guys hear like the drone of its, battle station alarm, like, meh, meh, and it looks disused down here. There's dust everywhere. Like when you guys step onto the ship, you're stepping onto a layer of dust. The ship looks old. It smells old and musty. And it just looks really unused. It's like you guys have stepped on a museum ship.
I'm going to say to Brock, I'm going to be like, I think the enemies may not be what we may expect.
They'll still bleed when we cut them, though.
That's if
We
they
should make our way to the bridge and seize this ship.
certainly.
Okay. So you guys are making your way up.
Yeah.
To the bridge. Okay, you guys are moving, and there's really no opposition. Like most of the ship is empty. Like you guys will, stop at a corner, turn the corner. There's no one there.
They fled in our wake.
I think
they
this,
knew we were coming. Our reputation precedes us, Iolaus. They know we're going.
I'm going to be like, I think this might be a ghost ship.
And so that's what you guys are heading up to the bridge. You two on that ship, you guys decouple your ship from the airlock.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what?
And then now I want to basically put Niobe on the guns, and I apologize for that. And once Niobe's are on the guns, I'm basically going to focus on my tactician stuff and be directing, basically finding key elements of the ship that we can disable. Specifically, first, exterior sensors, and also because the exterior sensors are what they're using to aim their guns, and so I want to disable that aiming system and such like that.
So who's piloting your guys' ship? Well, you guys are.
Sorry, what?
Who's piloting your ship?
Primarily me, because that's why I'm saying I'm just putting her on the guns and I'm piloting and calling out commands and such using my command abilities.
So you're not using your tactician. You're using your tactician skill, your skill of tactics, but you aren't using your talent of being a tactician.
Because I can't take an action roll on each of the turns.
Yes.
In order to do that. But yeah, I will not be giving the +2s right now after that, because I need to be piloting the ship, but I can give the double 10 damage, so I'll do that.
Okay, you give me a piloting roll, -10, and Niobe, you give me a shooty roll.
Cool. What do you like to use for your shooty roll?
Your shooty roll. Do you have weapons, guns?
I have.
Jerry,
I have that as equipment, but I don't see. Ah, there it is. Found it. Okay.
Weapons, guns.
I got it.
+8.
Jerry, your jinx on me from earlier hit again.
Yes, that's right. There's a spike in sucky rolls. You guys should have turtled up and stayed inside, but you came out to play. Oh man, it didn't affect her. She's taking vitamin C. Let's see. You rolled. All right, so you rolled a -1. That's
I rolled a nat 1.
Yeah, that's not a good roll. That's a terrible roll. All right. We let that one roll
because I don't want to screw them right now, so I will cancel the fumble this time.
Okay, cool. So you cancel the fumble and you just take the non-success. Essentially, basically, you're trying to maneuver as they're shooting at you. So your ship takes 12 points of damage, which is no big deal because you guys have 8 points of shields, meaning your ship takes 4 points of damage. But she shoots her little guns at the big ship, pew, 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 and does, how much damage do your guys' little weapons do?
Add 10 to whatever she's doing, please.
Yep, it does 10 points plus an additional 10 points, which is actually a lot of damage.
Well, that was my hope. My tactician does something.
The Wine Dark Void, which is the book about all things Slipspace and spaceshipy. And I'll see how much damage a battleship can take, minus your guys' little pew, pew, pew. So while that's going on.
Oh, I forgot to say, before I shoot, for the glory of Artesia, shoots.
Right. You throw a little stank on it. I like it. I like it.
We have to
Jerry
swag
needs to
a
stop
little.
jinxing my dice rolls, guys. Every time I roll well, he's like, "Oh, look, it's getting better." And the next roll, it's like, "Here's the 1," or like, "Oh, you're rolling too well," and there's the 1. I've rolled 3 ones, guys. 3 natural ones. That's actually against the odds of the number of dice we've rolled.
No, you've never. Have you ever played with Roll20 before?
That is also true.
Yeah.
20.
You will have a feast and a famine of numbers.